your presentation has some photos. The link that you had sent to me, I had shared with this body, and I'm sure that I hope everyone had a chance to look at some of those photos. You know, I realized that there was some, you know, I guess ugly, overgrown conditions, but some of these were even worse than I thought they were. I don't know, do you have any of those in your that you could share? I know that there's some other people that have not probably seen those photos. I don't want to. I don't know if you have them readily available. The link.
Yeah, I'd have to go online for that. I could pull it up.
Okay, that's all right. I mean, this body's all seen it. We can make sure that we share the photos with the public, but. The photos in your presentation of the remodeling, are those Taylor locations that you've remodeled?
Yes. So we have, this is a Taylor property. We currently have 10 houses in Taylor. This is a Taylor property. Yeah, all of the 10 Taylor properties we have, I can walk you in any single one of the properties and they'll look like the pictures I've shown you. It's just how we do business. If you do everything right, you do everything correctly, you'll put the right people in their houses. And we're not here to, to Section 8 these houses or do this or to sell to the wrong community, wrong people that just don't qualify. And we're just not here to make a quick buck and sell their houses. If you do this right, the system correctly, it'll improve the entire community.
Madam Chair, I think I mentioned earlier that we looked at this and said if we do nothing, that's one option. We could do absolutely nothing, and these 100 and if you don't mind hitting the lights, I think if we do absolutely nothing, these 111 homes are going to stay in the current condition and continue to progress and get worse. If we are able to work out some kind of structured deal with an outside developer, we can control the outcome and in fact, bring the city, get into the neighborhoods and bring the city up to a standard of living that we all made the commitment to try to do. I think a program like this allows us to do that. Some of the high-level details, if there's a renter in place, they'll have the ability to try to negotiate that tenant to stay and continue to live there. If not, unless there's some unusual circumstances that the city and RT would have to agree to convert that to a rental. So in fact, basically what it'll allow us to do is say that none of these homes will become rentals unless they're already a rental, trying to minimize the growth of rentals in the city of Taylor. One of the things that we've struggled with is if they're a renter or a rental, they should be registered. Most of these aren't registered. We have a hard time tracking down who the owners are. A lot of these, they go to the foreclosure or the auction. They, as Shadi had indicated, they're playing around with becoming a landlord. They oftentimes don't pull permits. We're chasing them around neighborhoods from the building department. There's no timeline. So they might buy a home like this particular house that we see in this photo, and it might stay like that for a year. Or maybe they start cleaning it up. A program like this will allow us to monitor and manage with this partnership and ensure that these things are brought into livable conditions. It's not just the people living there that it affects. It affects everybody that lives in the area, everybody that drives by. When I looked at these homes and these photos, what I asked myself was, what if I looked out my front window every day and I saw this product? And I'm sure there's a sad story as to how it got to this point, and I'm sure that it's gut-wrenching, but at the end of the day, that doesn't change the fact that people still have to live next to it, behind it, across the street from it, and this program will allow us to control that outcome. So I don't know, Gus, if it makes sense to get into the development agreement details, or if there's specific questions that we would just open the floor up.
Well, I think I speak on behalf of the entire council. It sounds like a really awesome program and certainly will be beneficial. I think there are a few questions from council. Maybe we could just right down the line and have everybody ask their questions maybe before we get into the development agreement?
Yeah, real quick, 6-7 months ago, we met, me and Councilman Woolley, we actually went to a meeting for the housing authority, and we was talking about a development on the south end. And my suggestion at the time to the Kinley Properties was to, why don't we look at buying 100 homes and fixing them up and getting them back into the hands of, at that time, veterans. You know, if you want to do something, let's do that. So this mirrors that. I don't have, I think it all sounds good, but everything sounds good. You know, my concern is, did we talk to anybody else? It's just one person. Did we have any, you know, we heard blurbs about this a little bit over the past couple of months, but that's about all. And Madam Chair, it's here.
If I could, I would actually, we have 2 other proposals outside the one that's in front of us today. There are 2 other groups that submitted, and here, I made copies of these. One of them, we just received the final proposal on late Friday, I believe it was. There's one that has a significant admin fee, but no other controls. It doesn't say, we're going to complete them by this timeline. We agree that there are going to become no more rentals in the city of Taylor. Those are things that it lacked. It lacked it tailored to Taylor. So I'd be happy if everyone wants to take one and pass them down. These are 2 other groups, and these groups also are in other communities downriver. But we did not feel that they were willing to partner with the city of Taylor in the capacity that we needed. So that's why we brought the development agreement forward with our team.
And I understand that, and I appreciate it. I just wish that we would have had this sooner.
We just got it.
But knowing that that was happening, we didn't really know that that was happening.
Madam Chair, to be really candid, this was all coming together late because of the deadline of Wayne County, which we have to secure the properties by tomorrow.
What?
Excuse me, just to go up Mary's point, George Sullivan and I both met with another company as well, who came to present. They were not nearly as passionate or as prepared as Realty Transition. When they presented to us, they already had a pinpointed map, done so much homework, so much background work that they kind of blew us away with their presentation. The other one just kind of wanted us to hand over the keys, really, and take over without a whole lot of partnership. So we actually visited their facilities and vetted both, and we both thought that Realty Transition was far and away more prepared and a better partner. With the timeline coming up, we have to claim these by tomorrow. Obviously, we didn't have a chance to negotiate with a lot of different companies, but we were thoroughly impressed with their preparation. You know, when George and I first looked into this program, we saw it as a great way to take back control. Obviously, with the amount of calls you get for high grass, noxious weeds, these eyesores, we wanted to get control back in the city. That was key for us. Because right now, when these go to auction, if we don't have a partnership, you get 60 to 70 different investors who aren't pulling permits or just putting lipstick on a pig per se and bringing renters in and charging them minimum rents, and the homes aren't in compliance. So that was a big thing as well, compliance, pulling the proper permits, bringing these homes up to code, and then making sure that they're good structures moving forward. You know, even talking with George, we talk each morning about what we can do, and he's economic development. With all the momentum we're seeing with economic development, we saw this as a great engine to get into our neighborhoods, roll our sleeves up, and show our residents that we are serious about improving our neighborhoods and attracting young families to come to Taylor and making this their home.
You know, Chair, and I think this is a great idea. I really do. I just wish that 2 months ago, we had more than just blurbs, a little bit more, that's all.
And I understand your point, Councilman, but this program did get, I mean, I think we started really seriously considering really moving forward this less than a month ago.
And it would have been nice to know that a month ago. That's all.
Councilman Garza.
Okay,
So, and I noticed these two proposals here, one of them has a June 16th date on it. I mean, were we actively looking for proposals for these properties? Where were we at with that? I mean, when did we get these proposals, and when did we start negotiating a deal like this? Was it a month ago? Was it 2 weeks ago? Was it last week?
Probably about a month and a half ago, George Sutherland and I went to one of the competitors' offices and met with them. We took a meeting with them, but at the time, they just wanted us really, like I said, they kind of renegotiated the process when they saw we were serious. At first, they didn't want to give anything back to the city as far as administrative costs, helping with fees. Really, it was, hey, let us take your foreclosures. And then actually, up until they found out that we were serious about moving forward, they really just wanted to cherry pick about 30 properties, which we thought, okay, well, anybody can cherry pick 30 properties, then you lose 70% of the profit margin. So that's why we didn't really move forward at that time. That wasn't the proposal that we're bringing forward to you today.
So when did Mr. Awad's proposal come in?
I think we visited the competitor first before we met Mr. Awad.
Okay.
And that, I think George and I probably went to the competitor probably in late May, early June. And I would say I met Mr. Awad the week of the fireworks, so that actually ran into him at the festival. So it was end of June.